It's under. Oh. Hi, I'm Angela and I am here with the brain injury community. Today we are going to be talking about the wins of 2021. Yes, I did end the year on a personal flat note, but it was very much reminded to me that we did a lot in 2021 and we accomplished a lot in 2021. So I'm going to sit down and go through it and give myself a feel-good moment, and hopefully all of you will get a feel-good moment as you listen to some of the things that we've done this year or in 2021. Okay, so I did write them down so I don't forget everything. We started the year reuniting a couple of friends who over 10 years ago were patients together at the Brain Injury Rehabilitation Unit here in Brisbane. Now, one lives out west, one lives north of Brisbane, and they're literally a couple of hours away from each other. And even though they remained connected via the phone and online, they never actually got to see each other physically in that 10 years, which just totally blew my mind. So, so we literally left Brisbane, drove up to her, picked her up, drove the couple of hours out, and we spent the afternoon and the evening. We had dinner with Neil that evening, and it was a night and afternoon of both laughter and tears. And then the next day we took her out, because this totally blew my mind. She had not been to the beach in these 10 years and had not gone into the water in 10 years, which totally blows my mind. So we took her down to the beach and we got her into the water and we all floated for the day, and we again laughed and cried. It was a very emotional weekend, and it was amazing. It really was. And it kind of got that fire burning again in the belly of, oh my Lord, I have to do more of this. There's so many people out there that I can help. How am I going to do this? You know, it was really inspiring. So that was amazing in itself. And then in March, I was very honoured to be chosen to be part of the Queenslanders with Disability Network, QDN, their inaugural Emerging Leaders program. And I will admit, when I got the phone call, was it the phone call or an email saying that I had been chosen? I think it was a phone call. Anyway, I had been chosen to be one of the emerging leaders in the program. I was very excited. And I rang my girlfriend, my best friend, and I was, oh my God, I'm so excited. I've been chosen as part of the Emerging Leaders program, rah, rah, rah. And she says to me, so what is it? And I said to her, I don't know, I can't remember applying. So I don't remember applying, but obviously I did and was lucky enough to be chosen. And the year with the Emerging Leaders program taught me a lot about myself and about other people. And about other people who live with disabilities, who may be who are more impacted than what I am by my disability. So it really made me sit back and go, wow, like some of the things these people were achieving were just amazing, and very inspiring and very humbling, and forced to be reckoned with. Some of these people, can I tell you? And even with all of the challenges that they face, they still wake up every morning and still, you know, make things happen. So it was very, as I said, both humbling and inspiring. And I learned a lot in the duration of the year. It actually gave me that kick that I needed in making the decision of, I can't do this on my own. We are going to form a charity. So the year of paperwork and red tape began. But within the year, we did everything that was needed to do. We received our not-for-profit status, we received our charity status, which was amazing. And then in November of last year, we were awarded our DGR status. And what this is, it's called a deductible gift recipient status. And what that means is that any donations that are made to the charity are now tax deductible. And it also opens the door for us in the way of a lot more grants that are available both within the private sector and the government sector, which means that we can get that financial backing to do a lot more of what we want to do. And it just opens the scope, it just widens our opportunities. So whether it's, you know, my neighbour or a business or a corporation or whatever, any sponsorships and any donations that are made to us are now tax deductible. So it just, you know, gives that little bit more incentive. So that was really, really exciting for us. Oh my Lord, what else did we do? We had the Oz Communities Disability Expo in May of last year. And that also put us in front of other service providers, other not-for-profits and other charities as well. And opened up a lot more opportunities with other people that we can work with to make the most of what the brain injury community wants to offer and how we can help other people. So that was just great. And then on the back of that, we did a little road trip, which was hilarious and so much fun. And all those that know me know that my little dream is to convert a commuter, throw the two Roddies in the bus with me and do a bit of travelling. And in the midst of doing my travelling, doing work for the brain injury community in the rural and the regional and the, you know, the remote areas of Queensland and Australia. So doing this little trip out to Emerald and down to Carnarvon Gorge, even though it was a very quick trip, took us just under 2 weeks, I think it was. It was great. You know, we hired a Juicy camper. Thank you, Juicy. They were really great with upgrades and discounts. Thank you very much. And we literally just hit the road and it was great. It kind of fulfilled my little wandering streak that I have inside of me. And we went out to Emerald and we met up with Martin Broad, who I have spoken with you about. We met him at QDN's Emerging Leaders Program. So we spent some time with him. We met the staff at Yumbabimbi that support him, which was great. And then we went down to Carnarvon Gorge and ticked something off my bucket list. And that was just brilliant. And I cannot wait to go back. I do want to go back this winter and do the sunrise walk. That would be brilliant. So we had that on. Oh my Lord, what else did we do? In September, I think it was, can't remember, I think it was September, I facilitated my first 6-week STEPS program. Now the STEPS program, just quickly, it's run by ABIOS, which is the Acquired Brain Injury Outreach Service, which is run through the Department of Health. And it's like a little 6-week program that gives those that are living with a brain injury a little bit more insight into like the new you, and little hints and tips on how to progress in community, I suppose. But I think the biggest thing overall that we get out of doing a STEPS program is that you sit in a room with, you know, 6 to 12 other people that all have brain injuries and all get it. You know, they get what it's like when your symptoms flare up, or with the issues that you're dealing with when it comes to living with a brain injury. We all get it. So sitting in that room with that group of people is an immeasurable, I suppose, assistance. If I don't know if it does so much for you. As someone living with a brain injury, it really does so much for you. And then when you get those that actually bring a family member along, the family member will often sit back and go, wow, so, you know, he or she, they're not actually doing that to be annoying. You all do the same thing. You know, there's more of you. You know, we get comments like that. So it's really good in that whole feeling of you're not alone, which is great. But one thing it had, again, one thing that it's kind of reared its head and showed me was there's not enough support out there for the families of those living with a brain injury, and in particular their partners of those living with a brain injury. So that is something that I would like to work on within the brain injury community as well. So that's just been great. That was really great. It really was. Met a lot of people. It was really amazing. We had our first Brisbane workshop that we do. Now the workshop is geared towards allied health providers, support workers, family. We've got more information of that on the website as well, but we ran our first one and that was really exciting. And then off the back of that, we kind of had a celebrationary lunch after the first workshop, and I don't even remember how the conversation came about, but in a nutshell, at 7 o'clock the next morning, we're on an airplane on the way to Port Douglas for a weekend to unwind. And unwind I did. I literally spent, I think, that whole weekend, well, most of that weekend floating either in the ocean or in the pool. So that was great. It was a really good reset. So need to do more of that. We had the final graduation for the Emerging Leaders program in November. Martin Broad was out in Brisbane for the Emerging Leader program's graduation. So QDN brought him out for that. And then we stole him. We kidnapped him for the weekend and kept him here. And I took the boy from the bush surfing. So that was so much fun. Because in a nutshell, he couldn't stand on the board because he does have balance issues. But we took him out with the Surf Easy Swim School, who are my coaches, and one of the instructors basically rode the wave in with him, and the videos and the footage shows, Martin had the biggest smile on his face. He really enjoyed it, so that was great. We did the weekend at Groundwater, the Country Music Festival. So Martin had a lot of firsts that weekend. We took him out dancing. I know, maybe it's not very appropriate, I think maybe, but we had a great time and we took him dancing, and he danced with random chicks on the dance floor, and he had a great time. It was hilarious. It was so much fun. He felt like a normal 40-year-old man, which he doesn't get that experiences normally. So it was great, we just simply did what a lot of people take advantage or take for granted. We went for dinner, we had some drinks, we went dancing and laughed and sang and, just had a great night. It was really, really good. And on that weekend, Martin, as I said, does have balance and walking issues and problems with the tendons in his arms atrophying because of limited use. So we took him to Wings, which is a program that is offered through Headway down on the Gold Coast here in Queensland. And Scott from Wings is an amazing physiotherapist. And we introduced Martin to the program that Scott runs there. And in a nutshell, it was just, the half hour I think that we spent there was probably more. But the limited time that Martin actually used the machinery, you did see more movement in his arm. It was really, really inspiring. And as a result of that, he's actually coming back to spend a month doing intensive rehab with Scott at Headway. So like, that was just brilliant. Being able to make that introduction and know that Martin is now going to get such a valuable rehabilitation through it has just been great. So I'm really looking forward to him coming back and us spending some more time with him. I also met with a young lady called Jazz, who, again, I'm really looking forward to being able to do more with her this year. She opened my eyes to a real gap within the market, is in that she's 16 years of age, has a brain injury as a result of an aneurysm 3 years ago, and she's a 16-year-old girl. She wants to do 16-year-old girl things, and we're finding it very limited to find things for her to do. I am going to work with her mum, Danny, who is such a great cheerleader for her daughter. She really is. It's just amazing, the assistance and like her wanting better for her daughter. So it's great. So I'm going to be working with Jazz and Danny this year to introduce other kids to Jazz and other events that we could do, that we could actually, that they can get their teeth into and enjoy. So we're going to be working with Jazz to develop some of those things. Oh my Lord. We also met up towards the end of the year. We met up with the lovely Gigi Lacey, I think that her surname is. She is from, I've got to read this, Instinct Organisational Development. She is helping us, she's sitting down and helping us with our strategic plan for the next 6 months for the charity. We're actually, I think the plan is a 5-year, but we're really focusing, so we've got our long term, and then she's helping us really get in and get our teeth into our 6-month plan to make sure that the models that we have that we have planned, we're actually going to put into place and run, so then we can use these models in both the metro and the rural areas of Queensland, and then spread them out throughout all of Queensland. So that's just such an exciting thing that's happening. I'm really looking forward to it. We have received amazing support and connections. There is a lady from the Brisbane City Council who has just been really instrumental in giving me a lot of information that we can use, and so that's been great. Had a lot of support from her. Have had a lot of support, and have from the Central Highlands Council, who really want to go forward with the model that we want to run out there. Like, there is so much support. I'd love to be able to sit down and list everybody, but we've actually received so much that it's been overwhelming. But I am going to end this. I need to end this because I'm starting to get lightheaded because I'm forgetting to breathe. Got to remember to breathe. One of my thank yous and one of my wins for 2021 are my 2 support workers, Sian and Elise. You've met Sian. She quite often will sit in on the videos with me. Elise, not yet, but it will happen. But both of these women, without their support, I would still be sitting in a corner blubbering, saying, I want to do this, but I can't. And, Elise has got one of the most amazing minds that I have ever met. The woman is so damn intelligent, it's actually scary. I sometimes look at her and just nod. And if you've ever watched The Simpsons, and you see the footage of, what's his name, Homer, when someone's talking to him and he's got this whole other thing playing in his head, that'd be me. I quite often look at Elise and I think to myself, I hear the words. There is no understanding, but I will nod. So in a nutshell, anything we have not known, she will go and learn and educate herself and find out the information, and then come back and sit down with me and try to teach me. And the poor thing will often find herself repeating herself, sometimes, daily. But eventually some of it sticks, some of it, most of it doesn't, but she's always there for me to bounce off. And like, yeah, so I cannot extend my thanks to her enough. And then we have Sean. The patience that both of them have. Sean really does try to keep me on the right track. At the moment, she's walking back and forth, looking at the time with the mental thing of, and you're running out of time. She really does try to keep me on track and really tries to keep me inspired and keep me going. She is my, oh my God, arty-farty, hairy-fairy, like, you know, like, not hairy, but, you know, airy-fairy, nymph of the woods. Both of these women have just been amazing. You know, if they don't know something, they will learn it so that they can teach me and help me do what I need to do. Both of them literally are so giving, not just to me, but to the charity as well. And they can actually, like, they can see the benefit of it and see the good that it can do and has done. So their support has just been immeasurable, and I really, truly cannot thank them enough. So thank you, ladies. I do appreciate it. They're off sitting to my left. I would turn the screen, but I know that if I turned the phone, it would fall on the floor and then we'd be in a whole other mess. So, but yes, so we have done a lot of other things throughout the year. Other people within the brain injury community have reached out for referrals. Can you recommend this? I need that. And we've helped them. So, you know, it's a lot of the things I really need to get in the habit of posting more. You know, some things people just want done on the quiet, and we do it on the quiet. Other things they're happy for us to talk about, and we'll talk about. But in a nutshell, we are doing what we can with the resources that we have to help as many people as we can. So this year's going to be even better. There's a lot of goals. There's a lot of things that have been planned for the year that will happen, and a lot of other things that we don't even know yet that are going to happen. Literally open to everything. But yeah, so very excited to see the growth of the brain injury community this year, and just to see exactly where we can go. You know, I'm so excited. I have my own little personal goals that, you know, and just getting her van this year. Just, you know, I'm putting it out there to the universe, and just getting her commuter bus this year, and just converting it, and just hitting the road, and we will be able to do a lot more for the brain injury community in our regional, remote and rural areas. Need to get out there where people don't have access to what we have access to here in the city. So being able to help them is really huge and top of my list. So yeah, that's my personal goal, to get my commuter bus, to convert it to be able to do more work for the community out there. So very, very excited. Anyway, something I'll take a moment. Thank you very much. Please do everything you've got to do on all the socials to follow us, like us, share, you know, all that stuff that help out, keep our footprint going and make us more accessible to so many more people that don't know we're out here yet. And thank you for your continuing support. You know, it's been great, and it's only going to get better. And Sean, Facebook group. Sean is, you know, okay, Facebook group. We have an online support group. No, it's not called the Brain Injury Community. That's the charity. The support group is called Brain Injury: The New Me. The support group is for people living with a brain injury and their carers. And it's literally our safe place. It's where we can get on and yell and scream and whinge and whine and ask for help, ask for advice. It's where we celebrate what's happening in our lives. It's our place. On a side note, don't get on and try to advertise. Angie's really big with the delete button. I've had a few of those try to get in towards the end of the year. I really do. I'm very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very strict, very much a mother, you know, the mother lion in protecting our community, protecting those that are part of the Facebook group, because in a nutshell, we deal with enough crap living with a brain injury. We don't need anything else thrown on there. So please, if you are going to try to use this tool for anything else, don't even bother. But if you need our help, you are living with a brain injury, you support somebody with a brain injury, join up, because the assistance and this help, the help that the group offers each other is immeasurable. I'm very proud of our little group. Some amazing friendships have been formed, and it's very, very evident. So it's a great group, it's a great place. And yeah, I'm happy to share it with you. If you're living with a brain injury, let us know. It's called Brain Injury, The New Me Australia. It is Australian based, and we keep little information Australian relevant. So yeah, please come and join us. You know, there's a lot we can offer you, there's a lot you can offer us. But the big thing we can offer each other is that support. Oh my God, I just made that up. Good tagline. Anyway, thank you very much. I will see you again shortly. Goodbye.